Hi, this is Lou from Lou's Antiques to Collectibles, and we buy and sell stuff in our two antique booths and the two antique malls that we're in. And this is part 3 of a little series that we're doing called Beautiful Booths. And beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So I'm showing you various things for different reasons. That first one I wanted to show you because that was at Maumee Antique Mall, and that's the shelving we had. And they did try to do some color combinations there. But it wasn't necessarily the most beautiful booth, but it was an interesting one if you have a setup that way. Now this is also at Maumee Antique Mall, and this one they pulled out the shelving and they just put their own items in there because they have larger items, so the shelving doesn't work for them. So this is beautiful if you have these types of items. So hopefully some of these pictures will inspire you. Maybe pieces of it will inspire you to help you with doing your own booths. And here is also one in Maumee Antique Mall. This is a friend of mine in row 4, and he has the jewelry gallery, and he has lots of beautiful jewelry and lots of coins, and he does his with all showcases. He actually has a booth that is full of showcases. And this one's actually in my mother's booth, and this is her showcase, and she is displaying all her necklaces up like that so you can see them better, and then the small items are on the shelves. So that's a good way of doing jewelry, because if you laid all those necklaces down, it'd be tough. This booth is right down the row from me, and it's very cute with the kitchen displays and whatnot, so I wanted to show that. That's another way you can do things. You know, it really depends on what you have. I don't have big furniture items, so this is a small booth with furniture items, and they were able to do that quite nicely. I have more small, so I tend to use more shelving. So, like I said, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. This actually is my booth, and you can see all the smalls that I have. I try to group things by color because I have so many small things, and I do utilize the shelving in the booth. And this is a showcase that I bought, and you can see the necklaces are kind of up in the air with the pins and rings and whatnot lower down. So another way of doing a showcase. Lighting is very important. You always want to have your booth really lit up. This one's interesting because it's all glassware, and they've grouped it by color, which I love, all the milk glass together. Nice idea. And here's a showcase here that they have all kinds of Fenton glassware in, and they grouped it not necessarily by color, but by things that were alike. And here's the back shelves in this booth, and they have grouped a lot of their depression glass together, and they do a lot of it by color too. And look at the back one. I wanted to show you this back thing. They have the black lights on that so you can see all that glow. That's that Vaseline glass. What a great idea. Then you know for sure you're getting the real McCoy. And here's a booth they decided to paint yellow, and they're utilizing the shelving that's provided at the mall, and they've made it very cute. And they've even put a little bit of furniture in. And they will actually, at this mall, they will move the shelves around for you, and you can incorporate more or less shelving depending on what you want to do. That's not typical at an antique mall, but this one has that, which is really awesome. So I didn't have to bring in or buy a lot of shelving. This one's done nicely, and this is very pretty with all the whites and the lit up trees and the clothing. So I hope some of this inspires you if you're a dealer, or if you just like the look, that's fun too. And here's a narrow booth with some different ideas. They have lots of layers with different furniture on top of each other, and lamps and tall things kind of together. And that one, I believe, is at Plaza Antiques. And here's how somebody utilizes those high shelves. They put all those bigger items on the top there. And here's lots of furniture. It's can be challenging depending on what you have. But I like that they have the high shelving there. They use ladders and whatnot. This is beautiful because it really incorporates the color and the theme into their corner of their booth. And they got a variety of objects, but they all kind of go together, and it helps you maybe decorate your house. And I love the layering of furniture. Very cool. So you can get a lot of different pieces in your booth. And here's another display, and I believe this one is at Plaza Antiques also, where they've layered the tables on top of each other. And this dealer is also a friend of mine. She has lots of furniture that's beautiful. She has a YouTube channel called The Turned Leg if you're interested. She shows you how to paint furniture and do different things with stenciling and whatnot. And she does similar things like me, where she goes on thrifting hauls and whatnot. So check her channel out. It's called The Turned Leg. Neat idea with this furniture with all the darker colors. And here's a beautiful cabinet with lots of milk glass in it. And again, she's utilizing the tops of things to display things. Always want to make sure you use every part. And here's a little red and white display with the cabinets. And she has many booths at Plaza Antiques. It would be a dream to have all those booths, but I don't want the responsibility of all that rent. But she does very well and really decorates it neatly, because it's tough when you just got a really big space and there's no shelving on what to do. But I think when you have that, the furniture is the way to go. Now here's how I do my showcases. I put the gold and the silver on the top. I put light colors together. I'm kind of a color coordinated kind of person. And then on the bottom, I do the blues, as you can see, and then the harvest colors, and then the reds and pinks, and then the purple on the end. So I try to put light colors together for the jewelry. This is just a way that I do my jewelry showcases. And here's a nice display, lots of layering. And actually, some of these outside ones were at the Michigan Antique Festival. I don't know for sure if it's Davison or at Midland, but a wonderful show to go to. Oh, actually, this one, I got to correct myself. This is at the Vintage Market. And they have some really creative booths there. We do also have some from the Michigan Antique Festival. That's coming. This one here is the Vintage Market. I love that chicken thing. I want one of those. I have no idea what I would do with it, but I think they're so cool. Lots of painted white furniture. A beautiful display with lots of layering. For me, I can't do this. I typically bring jewelry, and I don't bring big items like this. And this is a nice small display. And at the Vintage Market, you're required to have a white tent. So it kind of makes it look more like a market, whether you're inside or outside. So this gal does lots of children's clothing. And this booth is at the Maumee Antique Mall. It's right down from where I am. And I love all that blue together. What a great idea. Put a dining room table in the front with all kinds of display stuff on it. And the same with that shelf. And this one here is an overall. Oh, I see. There was a reason I picked this one. Because on the top, they had umbrellas and they had linens in like a line, like a clothesline. I thought that was so cool. And this is a spring display that they did this past spring. And look at that, like a clothesline. What a great way to display your linens. I thought that's a neat idea. And it's really kind of out of the way. You could do a lot with that. And this is at the Michigan Antique Festival. And look at all the jadeite here. Some new, some old, but all displayed nicely. And you can often use those crates to create layers in your booth. And here's the blue and white, cobalt and white area. And this gal, it was interesting because she didn't have shelving, but she had these ladders. And what she had done is put boards across the steps of the ladders and made some nice shelving. It was very cutely done. And also she had different shutters that she put together in the corners. Here's another one. I thought her display was kind of neat. It was a different idea. Probably easier to haul than a big shelving unit. I would imagine all that goes flat. And this one is also an outside one, done with lots of layers, matching colors. There's a red, white, and blue area. And here's green and white, with some yellow thrown in. Here's a nice outdoor display where they had a wicker set they were selling, and they put lots of pillows on there to sell also. And this was in a tent that they had outside. This would be wonderful too, to have a giant tent. So I hope you enjoyed this. This is Lou from Lou's Antiques saying goodbye, and we'll see you again. Bye.